take a look on these AI-generated 3D models. I want you to pick the worst one. Take your time. So now, instead of revealing provider, I'm gonna reveal the price tag for each. Boom, here we go. Not sure which one you pick as worst, but can it be a coincidence that is also with the highest price tag? Let's do one more. Low poly, for example. This is the same model generated in low poly mod. And here we have the price tags. Do you feel that discrepancy between quality and price tag? Well, let's do just one more example. And how do you think it will relate with costs? So here is how. I don't know if you see that so prominent as me, but I feel that discrepancy pretty hard. And if you just explored this new world of 3D AI and considering to try or even buy any tool, you must watch this video until the end, because as this market getting bigger, we get more and more distraction and heavy marketing that pushes expensive tool and hide great tools from your eyes. My name is Steph. I'm more than 10 years in 3D industry. And last 2 years, I was actively working with 3D AI tools, pretty much with all of them. I did a lot of tests, and most importantly, I was implementing them into big platforms, doing pipeline automations for millions of users. This will be an honest breakdown about what tools I personally use, which one I avoid, and how to make sure you are not overpaying and get what you need from this. Now I believe I owe you to reveal the tools I showed in the intro. So one of them you definitely know for sure, because you saw plenty of ads. Don't know how about you, but that's really annoying. The name is Meshy, and you already might guess, Meshy is the most expensive one. Our other guest is Hunyuan, which is crowd favorite definitely, but not many still know about him. They do provide free access on the platform, but through API it will be similar to our next guest, which is Tripo. In all of the platforms, the price was calculated purely on credit cost and one texture generation. As always, it's very easy to prove. You can go and check on the platform. So as you can see, the price varies quite high. So does quality. And now let me explain a little bit more why I feature Meshy and Tripo on the thumbnail. That's definitely not a clickbait. So Meshy again is highly advertised platform with very big marketing budget. The thing is, my channel is in first place about 3D and AI, and Meshy is essentially 3D AI tool. And since they do very heavy advertisement, for many people, Meshy is pretty much associated with image to 3D. Basically, keyword Meshy ranks higher than image to 3D. Tremendous work indeed. So whenever I do a workflow how to create characters or locations, I've been frequently asked, what about Meshy? Why don't you use a Meshy? So I guess you already started slightly understand why there is no Meshy. And if there will be no significant updates, I will not change my mind. When I create a workflow video and I want to show you guys how to reach from point A to point B, I need to make sure that tool actually works. And since a lot of my content's related to games such as characters, environments, I really need some really good low poly. Meshy, well, basically it doesn't provide low poly. What you saw is more a remesh. Does it provide good high poly? Maybe I can use it in printing. Well, they show a lot of examples of 3D printing, but if you take a closer look, those are very simple small examples. In reality, when you do printing, you want some sharp, nice, detailed geometry. As you just saw from the intro, it's not sharp, detailed geometry. And then I just remembered my first reaction a year ago when I was comparing Meshy with other tools. Ooh, Meshy. There is a lot of ads. First, I think failed. Shape is also so-so. Mismatch with their reference image. A lot of artifacts. I was genuinely surprised that such promoted tool gives results that even hard to compare with the favorites.days. They did some updates, but it's still behind. But most importantly for me is what you guys say, and you guys don't really like Meshy. Here are the comments on your screen. There are two types: those who tried and disappointed, and those who paid, tried to make use of it and then disappointed. And I know why that's happened, because there's so much videos saying that Meshy is #1 with like 500,000 views with I don't know, 0.01% engagement, right? The likes are hidden and like just few comments which make no sense. Meshy put a lot of money into creating these videos and they was reaching me quite a lot, very annoying, but I simply cannot use that tool for my workflows. And of course, if you follow me for a long time, you know that there is Top3D AI, which I created like almost a year ago. And the idea was very simple: to put raw outputs from each provider, each model, and give everyone the option to vote. Right now we have low poly, geometry mod, texture mod. You do a blind vote and then we calculate the LO leaderboard. We spent a lot of time to make sure this can't be manipulated, and here you can see the results. For general category, Hunyuan and Tripo, which you saw in the intro, basically sharing the first place. For geometry alone, Tripo is on the first place. For low poly, Tripo is absolutely #1. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about why is that and segmentation as well. And let's find Meshy. So Meshy is somewhere here. So that's basically my answer. Where is Meshy in my videos? Now let's step into the bright side. There is also Tripo, and for Tripo, you might ask me why there is so much Tripo in my videos. Well, there is a simple reason. Right now, Tripo is the best tool to use, not only by my opinion, also by arena votes, and here are some of your comments, guys. All of that factors are very important to me, but let me explain. For my workflows, I need something that actually works. And to give you a very good example, I really wanted to make a video about face and how to rig the face. There are some cool plugin, but to do so we need nice face mesh and we need the mouse that we can open, eyes, etc. At that point I had to postpone the video because neither of 3D AI can do that, and to give you a workload that will take days to do that manually or so, that's not a cool one. And then approximately 3 months ago we got a release of Tripo P1, which they call Smart Mesh, and it pretty much brings that last piece that I needed to do most of my workflows. I used P1 to show you how to generate faces, low poly, and dang, there is even like a mouse and teeth and tongue. With logical meshes, you can easily separate lashes, eyeballs, and that opens so much opportunity. I simply can't show same workflow with any other AI. I would say in terms of low poly, there's pretty much no competitors. There's of course Hunyuan, which provides free generations. And I also like Hunyuan a lot. Actually, before latest Tripo updates, I was using Hunyuan in most of my videos, including completely free workflows. The link will be somewhere here on the latest video. You can actually do whole workflow with free tools. But of course, since it's free, there is a catch. And the catch is that yes, Hunyuan can do low poly, not bad low poly, and high poly. But the time that you need to process the models in terms of shapes, details, and the consistency of outputs, for example, when you do the low poly generation, you cannot really control the output. I cannot set the amount of polygons that I expect. I can just set like low, medium, high, and then guess how many polygons it gives. Consistency there is awful, and you can easily do 10 generations and don't get what you want. So I really like that tool. Maybe there will be an update soon and you'll see more of Hunyuan in my videos, but using Tripo just make it more solid. Low poly, no competitors. For high poly, let's say for printing, you can definitely try Hunyuan or maybe Rodin. That goes for your taste. Hunyuan does everything more styled. Rodin has its unique understanding of proportions and stuff. Quite interesting to explore. At this very moment, me and my team, for most of the videos, we use Tripo because that's easier and faster. And also just to mention, Tripo does really a huge impact into development of 3D AI. So, I mean, 4 years ago, they did Tripo SR, which actually started this race, opened these opportunities. And let's say 2 weeks ago, they released Tripo Splat. By the way, extremely amazing open source model where you can generate this 3D GS from image. Yes, not mesh, but like those are really impressive in quality. and I was doing like a whole video like how I brought that in Unreal Engine. The link will be somewhere here. Absolutely unexpected, and the fact they made it open source is like a huge respect. And to be completely transparent, I do have Tripo affiliate link, which you might see under my videos, and if you purchase something, I will get small commission of that. That really helps me to cover some of my video production expenses, but of course there is no exclusivity working with Tripo. If tomorrow there will be Hunyuan 4.0, which will be better, trust me, there will be a Hunyuan 4.0 in every next video, because that makes sense. And lucky for me, I'm in good position. I can choose those affiliates that I want to use. I'm not dependent on any sponsor, and I never had any complaints about like Tripo that I recommended and it's actually not working as I show in the video. No, what I show in my videos, that's exactly how it works. And again, your comments, your feedback confirm that. So that's pretty much my choice right now. But if you're just getting started with 3D AI, no need to buy any subscription, because there are plenty of options how you can try it out for free. For Tripo, you can find my affiliate link, and it gives 800 credits, which is around 20 to 30 generations for free. Do generations, low poly, high poly, check the model if it works or not. Go to Hunyuan, it's absolutely free. They give like 20 credits. You can go Chinese and global version, register for same email, and you get like 50 generations per day. One give 30, another give 20. There is also Hunyuan Studio that you can use for free. You can generate images there, you can generate 3D models, you can do retopology, you can do even UV map. Try it out, see if it works. On Top3D AI, we also try to keep some promotions if we know about them. Like for example, Rodin, which is top 3 right now. You can get 2 free weeks of pro plan, which is quite a lot. And don't forget to unsubscribe if you didn't like that. But if you really liked one of the tool and ready to buy the subscription, here's one more advice. Do not buy it more than a month, because 3D AI, same as normal AI, things changing fast. There is Claude Code, Gemini, OpenAI, and you always have to switch because like one is better 1 month, etc. Here we have the same thing. Tripo is best right now, but in a few months, Hunyuan can release something crazy, or Rodin will do another update. Who knows? In the end of the day, maybe even Meshy will release some crazy update. And you're gonna need to remind me this video then. But so far, the latest version was released in January and never heard ever since. Stick with monthly plans, that's totally fine. One more thing I want to talk about honestly, and platforms that provide you with the workflows such as 3D AI Studio, Asset Hub, and others. And actually there will be many more soon. Are they worth spending money on? Well, my answer is yes, if you're gonna use the workflow. Well, let's say 3D AI Studio provides a bunch of tools, like a lot of tools that you can use within one subscription, and you can access different 3D AI models from one subscription. So does Asset Hub. Asset Hub has quite a lot of cool nodes to split assets, etc. If you're gonna use those nodes, consider that. But you need to understand mass behind it. If you have small budget and you want to get max generation out of it, there is no platform that will give you as much as the provider of that model, and that goes for everything. Let's say you can access Hunyuan through 3D AI Studio and you pay for it quite a lot of credits, while you can do the same going to Hunyuan and generate it for free, because Hunyuan can afford themselves to give it for free, but they will of course not give any third provider free access to their model. Same goes for Tripo. Generating models with Tripo on long distance is way cheaper and more efficient than doing that through another provider, because you're gonna pay more and also gonna pay for the platform itself. That's how mass behind it work, and that's totally fine, but I want you to know this. So finally, let's summarize how to get right decision on the subscription and not waste any money. First of all, do not buy anything before you try at least top 5 3D providers and compare them. As I mentioned before, most of them do have free access. Go to Top3D AI, you're gonna get promo code or invite code to get more generations. Test it, check prices, see if it works. And the second step, evaluate how much time it will take you to get that generated model to the final condition. Let's say we're making 3D characters. What it will cost you in terms of time and money. For me, this calculation work in favor of Tripo. Hunyuan is also good, but it will take me 1-2 extra hour to refine the model, the texture, etc. Well, time in my case definitely costs more than $50. I'm really curious what you gonna think about it, guys. Which tool do you use, which you recommend, which you do not recommend? Are you agree with me or not? Drop the comments. I'm gonna read all of them. That was Steph. See you in the next one.